Kính chào tất cả quý cô chú và anh chị em đang xem bản tin trên kênh tin tức tổng hợp. Kính chúc quý vị thật nhiều sức khỏe, hạnh phúc và bình an.
In the nation's capital, we are coming on the air with breaking news. As you can see, Donald Trump arriving right now at the Fulton County Jail to surrender on charges related to his attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election loss in Georgia. Trump will be fingerprinted and a mugshot will be taken. We should note that so far, 11 of Trump's co-defendants have turned themselves in to be processed, including Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, and John Eastman. The county sheriff's office said they are being treated just like anyone else that appears at this jail, although most people don't arrive in a multi-car motorcade like we're seeing there with Donald Trump. The former president was indicted 10 days ago on 13 felony counts, including conspiracy and racketeering, a charge that is often used to target members of the mob. Now, earlier this week, Trump's lawyers agreed to a $200,000 bond that prevents him from speaking with or making any direct or indirect threats to any co-defendants or witnesses in the case. We should note this is Trump's fourth criminal indictment in less than 5 months. Those are pictures from inside the motorcade there as he arrives at the jail. And CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian is outside the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. So, Nicole, what happens once he's inside?
Yeah, well, first, Nora, I just want to let you know that this entrance right behind me is where the former president entered just moments ago, and we expect this process of him being booked to take less than an hour. As you mentioned, he will have to go through the same process as any other criminal defendant, be fingerprinted, get his height and weight taken, and his mugshot, which is something that we haven't seen before in other cases. Now, in addition to the security presence that you're probably seeing around me, on the other side of the jail, you have a number of protesters and demonstrators who have gathered to express their support for the former president, including Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who told reporters a short time ago she's in touch with the president and she's very angry about what's happening right now. And that really is the sentiment that we heard from a lot of the demonstrators, some of them telling me that they feel this entire experience is demeaning for the former president, that they believe that he didn't do anything wrong, but at the same time they feel that his surrender today could embolden him politically. But as you mentioned, this really is a surreal moment, I would say, in U.S. political history. I have covered this president on the campaign trail, at the White House, and now turning himself in tonight at the Fulton County Jail.
Again, we are watching right now. What you see on your screen is waiting to see if and what the former president has to say. It looks like he is now getting out of his vehicle. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you're going to have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support, and that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning, and this is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
How elected did you pardon yourself? President.
And there are those comments from the former president, Donald Trump, as he begins the trek back to New Jersey after turning himself in here in Fulton County at the Fulton County Jail after the indictment by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. The former president saying it's a sad day for America, saying that this should never have happened. He also called the election rigged and stolen, sticking with that narrative and saying that Hillary Clinton and Stacey Abrams, 4 other Democrats, had done the same thing. He said that he did nothing wrong. He calls this entire process for this indictment and others that he is facing election interference. He said that this is a form of campaigning. He said that he and others involved had every right to challenge the election, and again, saying that he did nothing wrong here. So we are now seeing the former president make his way. He has stepped back onto that plane, and he will now be making his way back to New Jersey.